Anthropic just announced Claude Managed Agents. For the last few months, everyone has been saying things like, I spin up 25 AI agents working for me using Openclaw. I spin up a server here. I connected my agents to Telegram, Slack, and essentially my entire life, right? And Openclaw blew up because of that. But Anthropic just did something. They just flipped the entire script. They just said that, what if you didn't have to build any of that? What if you don't have to go through the hassle to have your own AI agents working for you? And that really changes everything. So in this video, I want to put them side by side, Openclaw and Claude Managed Agents. I'm going to be breaking down what Claude Managed Agents is and what Openclaw also is, what they are good at, what they are not good at. I'm not just going to focus on features. I'm not going to add on to the hype, but I'm going to talk about what actually matters, which one saves you time, which one makes you money, and which one would actually break the moment you decide to scale. I actually don't think you're comparing apples to apples here. I think they are completely different features of AI, right? So let me first talk about what Claude Managed Agents is, right? So Claude Managed Agents is the done for you version. With Claude Managed Agents, you don't build the back end, the runtime, the infrastructure, the security. All you just have to do is you describe the agent and then Anthropic runs it. So they run it inside their own managed environments with their own with built-in tools, with memory, with MCP integrations and persistent sessions, right? So this at the end of the day is not just the AI we are all used to. This is more so like agent infrastructure as a service, right? We've progressed from having to build all these AI agents ourselves to having AI agent infrastructure as a service. And most people are underestimating that because this is really built for real workflows. This is built for real teams. This is built for real deployments. And I feel like this can handle large scale deployments as well. Now, I really want to also compare this Claude Managed Agents to Openclaw. So I have a lot of videos on this channel about Openclaw, so I'm not going to go deep into that. But what I can say is that Openclaw is entirely the opposite, right? With Openclaw, you base everything. You connect it to Telegram, you connect it to WhatsApp, you connect it to Slack, Discord. Just think of the places you're already working, right? And suddenly you realize that you can control your AI agents from everywhere, not inside one specific dashboard, but you can really control them from any place you run your business, right? And I think that's why a lot of people love Openclaw, because with Openclaw, it feels like finally I have a real AI assistant, right? I don't have to go and log into a portal to be able to manage my AI assistants. But here's the real truth. Openclaw is very powerful. It's able to do a lot of things, but I also think that the setup can be very messy. I know there's been a lot of improvements and everything, but the setup can be very messy. So just think of Claude Managed Agents as clean, controlled, scalable, and think of Openclaw as flexible, chaotic, but powerful as well. Now, I want to talk about the real difference at its core, right? Everyone is comparing features, but I don't think that's the real difference. I think the real difference is this. Claude Managed Agents is more so infrastructure done for you, right? Like I said, agents infrastructure as a service. And then think of Openclaw as infrastructure you own because you have to self-host it and you have to spin up servers and everything. And that one decision, I think, changes everything. It changes the game with where we are with AI at the end of the day. Now, I want to touch a bit more on where Claude Managed Agents wins. So I think when it comes to Claude Managed Agents, I think it wins with speed because you can go from idea to working system fast with no setup headache. You don't have to think about any of the setup, all the infrastructure and all that. It wins with security because there's no raw API keys floating around. It's being executed inside sandbox environments. It has built-in controls. Things stability. You're not managing servers anymore. You don't have to think about dependencies. You don't have to think about random failures, right? Also, in terms of production readiness, this is built for companies because all these things have been set up for you. It's being managed by Anthropic, so you can think that this is something that companies will feel comfortable and trusting their systems with, right? But then Openclaw still wins in places that matters. So that is why I'm saying that it's not one over the other. I just don't think they're even competitors because Openclaw still wins in some places because one, it lives where you live, right? So think of Telegram, Slack, WhatsApp, right? That's huge. For a lot of businesses, they're already living in Slack. So you can have Openclaw set up with Slack and you don't have to bring in another app. People don't want another app, right? They just want an assistant they can message whenever they need help, right? Now, the second place where Openclaw wins is the fact that it gives you full control because you get to choose the models you want to use, you get to choose the infrastructure, you get to choose integrations, and there's no lock-in to think about, right? And the third one is flexibility. You can hack anything together, which is exactly why I think builders love it. And then the fourth other way I'm thinking Openclaw is winning is the fact that it feels personal, because Openclaw feels like it's my own AI, right? Whereas with Claude, it feels like it's a system I built because it doesn't really live within your own personal environment. And I think that difference is subtle. It's subtle, but it's definitely powerful as well. Now, it makes sense why Anthropic also recently announced that they were restricting the number of plugins and the connectors you can use in Claude. Now, I want to talk about something no one talks about, right? Openclaw looks free, but honestly, it's not, because at the end of the day, you're paying in your time, your maintenance, debugging, and all the risk that comes along with it, right? Even though you own your own infrastructure and everything, there's a lot of massive dependency chains, there's exposed instances, there's row vulnerability. And this is where people get stuck. At the end of the day, people would go online, or at the end of the day, people say, build 25 AI agents with Openclaw, build something really cool, and then they have to spend several weeks trying to maintain it, right? Meanwhile, when it comes to Claude Managed Agents, for sure, you pay with money, but you paying with money means that you sort of remove any headaches that come with infrastructure. You don't have to think about system fragility, content debugging. You don't have to think about any security issues, right? So the real question here is, do you really want to pay with your time, or do you want to pay with your money, right? Because if you're paying Anthropic, they're going to manage it and everything for you, and you don't have to think about all this. If you go the Openclaw route, they're going to self-host it, and then you have to think about all the risks associated with self-hosting, right? And I don't think we are comparing these two. It's just a shift in how AI gets built, right? AI is shifting really quickly, or should I say that the AI space is growing really quickly? And there are two parts here. The first part is whether you want a managed, secure, scalable system, or you want something that is open, flexible, and DIY, right? And I think that there's always going to be room for all these two different types to run. They are both going to win in their own spaces, just in different ways. Now, I want to give my final take, my honest opinion here, right? So here's my take. If you're building for a business, or you're creating workflows and you're scaling something real, I see it seems like Claude Managed Agent Teams is the right move, right? Because you're building for a business, maybe they don't have an IT team, a big IT team to manage infrastructure and everything. But if you're experimenting, you're building personal systems, or you want an AI that lives in your chats, then Openclaw is still a match, because it will provide you with the flexibility you need. It will give you that personal feel you need as well. So you may consider using Openclaw for that. So no, I don't think Claude Managed Agents killed Openclaw in any way. I just think it made one thing very clear. We are no longer asking, can you build an AI agent, or can you build an agent for me? We are actually asking, can you build one that actually works, right? At the end of the day, people want something that can work without breaking. People want something that can work with additional security, with some stability and all that. And so yeah, like I put the two cards on the table. I've talked about Openclaw, I've talked about Claude's managed agents. So you have to decide which one you want to go with, right? And if you've been building AI agents, are you going to go with like the managed version that Anthropic just released, or are you going to still be stuck with Openclaw? Just let me know in the comment section below, and let's keep the conversation going. Like I mentioned, I do have a video breaking down how you can sort of self-host Openclaw in AWS. So if you're interested in watching that video, I'm going to link it in this video so that you can go check it out. If you're not subscribed to my channel, just hit the subscribe button, share, all the good stuff. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.